Hello, Van Heist kindergarten friends. It's Miss Butler, and we're here to read another story and look at some of the words in the story that you might know. Remember last week that we read that funny story about the duckling called Have You Seen My Duckling? Guess what? Today we're going to read a book that's a little bit the same. Our book from last week, Have You Seen My Duckling, was about a mother duck looking for her baby duckling who had swum away. Remember, we had to try and find the duckling in the pages? This week, we're going to read a book called Come Along, Daisy. Do you see the cover? There's a duckling in this book too. This book also has some words that I think you already know, and we're going to learn a new chunk of letters. So first, let's look at the words that you probably already know. If not, you're going to learn a new one. Here's the word come. That's right. Ooh, I'm going to save this one because it's part of what we're going to learn in a second. Here's another word that's in the book. But. But. See if you know the next one. This is one that we have to learn in a snap. Was. It's not was, right? It's was. Good job. Let's see if you know the next one. Said. Another one that we learn in a snap. It's in so many books. Said. S-A-I-D. Said. All right. Another good one to memorize. Who knows this one? Went. Good job. Remember, I took one of our words and I hid it because I said we were going to learn about that word right now. We all know, and in fact, we talked about it when we read the book, Have You Seen My Duckling? That ing chunk, I-N-G, ing. But there's another chunk that sounds a lot like ing, but instead of starting with I, it starts with an O. Ah, like Ollie Octopus. So this chunk says ing. That means this one with the ah sound says ong, like song. And that is the word we're going to learn that has that ong chunk in it. So the word is along. Along. Do you hear that ong? In this book that we're about to read, there are words with that ing chunk, ing, and also some words with the ong chunk. So while we're reading, let's look for them. And then maybe we'll read some ing and ong words at the end. So here's our book, Come Along, Daisy. Think while we're reading too if parts of this story remind you of our book, Have You Seen My Duckling? This book was written by Jane Simmons. Come along, Daisy. Oh, I see the mother duck. You must stay close, Daisy, said Mama Duck. I'll try, said Daisy. I wonder what she's going to do. But Daisy didn't. Oh no, she didn't stay close. Come along, Daisy, called Mama Duck. But Daisy was watching the fish. Do you hear that ing? Watching the fish. Oh no, she's not staying with her mom. Come along, Daisy, shouted Mama Duck again. But Daisy was far away, chasing dragonflies. Oh, there she is. She's not staying with Mama Duck. Come here, Daisy, shouted Mama Duck. But Daisy was bouncing on the lily pads. There's that ing chunk. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Bong, bong. There's that ong. Bong, bong. I wonder what might happen to Daisy. What do you see? Plop went a frog. Quack, said Daisy. Ribbit, said the frog. There's that ong chunk again. Bong, plop, bong, plop, bong, plop, splash. They're playing. Quack, said Daisy, but the frog had gone. Mama, called Daisy, but Mama Duck had gone. Daisy was all alone. Oh no. Is this reminding you a little bit of our other book? Something big stirred underneath the water. Daisy shivered. Do you see what's underneath her? Giant fish. She scrambled up on top of the riverbank. Then something screeched in the sky above. Oh, there's poor little Daisy. Big hawk. Do you see Mama Duck? Way over here. Daisy's gotten herself far away. So Daisy hid in the reeds. If only Mama Duck were here. Something was rustling along the riverbank. Daisy could hear it getting closer. Rustling is that sound, like that. And closer and closer and closer. It was Mama Duck. Daisy, come along, she said. And Daisy did. There's that on, come along. And even though Daisy played with the butterflies, she stayed very close to Mama Duck. I hope you liked that story. Our story, Have You Seen My Duckling, was the mom looking for the duckling. But in this story, it's the duckling who we're following. We find out what happens on the adventures. I'm glad she finds her mom at the end. Remember, we talked about those chunks, ing and ong, and both of them were in this book. The O-N-G, ong, like bong, and along, and the I-N-G chunk, ing, ing. So now we're going to read some words together. Let's start with the ong chunk. Do you see? They all end with that ong. So we have along, bong, ong. You try this one? It's a little tricky. Strong, strong, strong. So the last two weren't in the book. I just added those. But we did read in the book along and bong. Remember when Daisy and the frog were playing? Now we're going to read some words that have that ing chunk. I-N-G, not O-N-G. These words were in the book. Some of them are a little bit tricky, so we'll read them together. Do you see how they all have that ing? So the first one, watching. I'll say the beginning part. You say the ing. Are you ready? Watch. Yep, watching. Chase. Chasing. Bounce. Bouncing. Th. Thing. You got it. Rustle. Ing. Yep, ing. Rustling. So watching, chasing, bouncing, thing, rustling. When you see a chunk, some letters that go together that you know, it can really help you figure out a word. So I hope you use that strategy when you're reading next time, not just looking for ing, but also ong, ong. I hope you like the story Come Along Daisy. Bye-bye.